I am not turning this car around because you forgot your blankie. Imagine packing up your life every Sunday and going to another house. With divorced parents, this was my reality for 16 years. Even while my parents had their differences, they have worked together to raise me into the woman I am today. My parents continue to show me how to succeed as a future parent and inspire me to be my best self with daily reminders to do so. Together, my parents have taught me to persevere no matter the circumstances, to be the best I can be, and to look past the differences we encounter in life. My parents have persevered through many trials that life has brought them. My mom, after she had me, found out that she had cervical cancer. This produced many issues in her life, and the future is unknown for her, but luckily she's okay now. She also, 10 years later, had to make a big decision in her life, to foreclose on the house that her father had built her to continue our lives or to dig ourselves into a bigger hole. Bartending at 2 different places, she decided to foreclose, which in turn brought her to her third point. She met a guy who she thought she was going to spend the rest of her life with, but in return, 4 years later, she ended up with a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old going through her second divorce with an 18-year-old to help her along the way. My dad, on the other hand, is a recovering alcoholic. After the divorce with my mom, he decided that alcohol was his best friend. But in turn, as they grew their relationship and he grew a new relationship with me, he found that there's better things in life. Not only have my parents persevered through many trials that life brought them, they have been ideal models for being the best you can be. My parents have always kept their cool. I was not an easy child. I was very temperamental, and Walmart trips were the worst. I would throw everything I wanted into the cart. But my dad always had his thing to do, a stern side-eye. With that stern side-eye, I would throw everything out of the cart onto the floor and continue walking. They were always honest and open with me. They would easily talk about things that were coming up between them and always make sure there was no gray area. And they always remembered what was important. And between them, that was me, and that was the solid ground. While being ideal models of the best self, they have always looked past the differences they encountered in life. They always found a common ground on opposing views. With raising me, they always looked at what was best. So if the job that they had was interfering with my life, they would sit down and talk about it. And if a relationship they had was also interfering, they would sit down and talk about it instead of arguing about it. And again, the common ground was always me. The end goal was to make sure I at least turned out all right. To conclude, even while my parents had their differences, they have worked together to raise me into the woman I am today. Through my parents, I have learned how to persevere no matter the circumstances, how to be the best person I can be, and how to look past the differences I encounter in life. Looking back, I now miss complaining about things I forgot at the other parent's house and having my parents say, forget about it. Because now all they want is all my stuff out of their house.